Welcome to Decor Blueprint. In today's video, we'll explore stunning rustic farmhouse garden bed edging ideas using natural stone to elevate your backyard's charm and character. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to stay inspired with more beautiful interior and exterior design ideas every week. Let's dive into the details. Certainly. Below is a 20-paragraph video narration that vividly describes the visuals from the Midjourney prompts, with a pause inserted for pacing. The language is professional, descriptive, and aligns with a high-quality, design-focused YouTube production. The scene opens to a serene backyard framed by a rustic wooden fence, where rugged stone borders cradle lush garden beds. Wildflowers of soft lavender and yellow sway gently in the breeze, interspersed with low-maintenance greenery that fills every gap between the stones. The irregular placement of the stones offers a natural, organic aesthetic that enhances the farmhouse character of the landscape. In the next frame, a captivating layout unfolds with large, rough-hewn stones forming clean, bold outlines for each garden bed. Seasonal flowers bloom within the defined spaces, offering bursts of red, orange, and white. The edging curves with the natural slope of the terrain, creating a harmonious transition from one bed to another and emphasizing the undulating charm of the land. We move into a corner of the yard where a beautiful composition of perennials and ornamental grasses thrives inside beds bordered with rugged stones. The colors vary from muted earth tones to rich greens and deep purples. Weathered wood in the background subtly mirrors the tones of the stone, reinforcing the cohesiveness of the rustic farmhouse design. A multi-level design comes into view, featuring tiered garden beds built with large stones stacked unevenly but securely. Each level showcases different plant species, native grasses on top, flowering herbs in the middle, and creeping vines along the bottom. This terraced concept not only maximizes space, but adds dramatic dimension to the backyard. In a more minimalist section, the stones are wide and flat, arranged neatly to form sharp-edged beds. The clarity of the stonework contrasts beautifully with the wild mix of succulents and flowering plants inside. Some of the stones are covered in moss, enhancing the aged, authentic look that is characteristic of timeless rustic landscaping. A winding pathway now leads the viewer through a side garden. On both sides, garden beds lined with large irregular stones overflow with lavender, sage, and creeping thyme. The path is gravel, bordered by the same weathered stone used in the beds, creating a cohesive and tactile journey through the outdoor space. A raised garden bed steals attention next, built from stacked natural stones that vary in size and tone. Inside, blooming hydrangeas and hardy bushes offer height and structure. The stone's textures are coarse and earthy, evoking a sense of permanence and quiet strength that anchors the garden visually. Now, we see a closer view of a garden bed-edged with natural stones placed at irregular intervals, creating a free-flowing, meadow-like effect. Inside the bed, soft grass intermingles with small flowering plants and herbs, producing an almost whimsical countryside atmosphere that feels untouched yet intentional. The camera glides across another section where taller plants like ornamental grass and rosemary emerge from a thick bed edged with coarse stone. The edging itself seems sunken slightly into the soil, giving it a settled, established presence that feels like it's always been part of the landscape. An elegant garden vignette appears, with circular stone borders enclosing patches of bright tulips, echinacea, and marigolds. Each stone is deliberately placed to form a near-perfect ring, adding symmetry and order to the otherwise wild profusion of color within. This balance of control and freedom defines the rustic farmhouse ethos. We shift to a tighter garden space, where rough stones form narrow rectangular beds ideal for growing herbs and compact vegetables. The beds are tightly packed but look effortlessly charming, with trailing vines softening the harsh lines of the stone. The layout is functional but retains a high aesthetic value. Another striking layout comes into frame: garden beds outlined with taller, uneven stones that provide an added sense of enclosure. The soil inside is dark and fertile, and wildflowers bloom in thick clusters. Some of the stones appear chipped or cracked, adding authenticity and depth to the rustic design language. Moving along a curved edge, we see a seamless blend of stones that follow the arc of the garden bed, mimicking the natural flow of a hillside. Plantings here are soft and muted. Think feathergrass, dusty miller, and pale daisies, all of which seem to spill gently over the stone edge, creating movement and life. A raised flower bed now dominates the frame, with large stones forming thick perimeter walls. Within the frame, vibrant zinnias, petunias, and tall lilies rise up proudly. The texture of the stones contrasts with the delicacy of the blooms, highlighting the juxtaposition of rugged and refined. A side yard is introduced with rectangular garden beds arranged in parallel rows. Each is edged with stones in alternating shades of gray and tan. The uniformity of the design brings structure to the rustic style, while the variance in stone color adds visual interest and natural irregularity. We now see a garden corner featuring low-lying flower beds surrounded by thick stone borders. The plants here are dense, packed with ground covers, colorful foliage, and seasonal blooms. Some of the stones are partially buried, adding to the aged, well-integrated appearance that defines timeless rustic exteriors. An overhead view showcases a radial layout, where garden beds are arranged like spokes on a wheel, each bordered with uneven stone and filled with a unique mix of flowers. The center features a rustic bird bath or a stone urn, anchoring the entire layout and creating a strong focal point. In another shot, a vegetable patch is framed with bold, natural stone edging. Lettuce, kale, and tomatoes grow inside neat rows, while the stone edging contains the soil and separates the crops from the rest of the yard. The result is both practical and picturesque, blending utility with rustic design. A garden bed built into the corner of a fence showcases a mix of native flowers surrounded by jagged, stacked stones. The height of the stones varies purposefully, providing a cascading effect that makes the bed feel sculptural. It's a small space, but packed with thoughtful texture and color. Finally, a tranquil nook is revealed, a small sitting area framed by beds edged in low stone. Around the edges, tall wildflowers and ornamental grass gently sway, providing privacy and a soft, natural border. The setting evokes peace, simplicity, and a deeply rooted connection to nature. Thank you for watching. These rustic stone garden edging ideas bring timeless elegance and grounded beauty to any outdoor space. If you enjoyed the visuals and narration, give us a thumbs up, share your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe to Decor Blueprint for more expertly curated design inspiration. See you next time.